Welcome back to the channel, guys. I know I'm glad to be back. Now, I'm gonna sit and talk to you guys for a second. Normally, I use this time to talk about the episode, but I gotta let you guys know what the heck has been happening these past 2 days. Oh, and let me just say, stress. I'm very stressed. So, I told you guys at the end of my Eminence in Shadow video the other day that I live in Florida and we're about to go through another hurricane and that I might lose power. I did. I lost power for 36 hours. 36 hours. It was ridiculous, man. I've been stressed these past 2 days having to figure out what to do. And I'm mad because I heard Mob was crazy this week. I heard Mob was absolutely insane. And let me tell you guys, Mob is coming. Mob is coming tomorrow. I thought very hard about whether I wanted to do Mob today, but I decided not to because I want to give it my full time and attention tomorrow. Mob is coming then. But yeah, guys, it's just been crazy. I didn't have power for so long. I was so stressed about that. I didn't have time to do anything else. Even when my power came back on, I had to spend hours and hours just getting my house back to how it was. Crazy. But enough of that. I just wanted to let you guys know what's been going on and that Mob is coming. But let's get into it and talk about Spy X Family, Part 2, Episode 7 today. So our episode begins at Gloom Industries as we just hear that the signing will be done on the 10th of next month. Director, I am sorry. As the director tells him that title won't last much longer now. Our company's business hung by a thread. But how should I tell my son this now? That our Gloomin pharmaceutical company will be gone. And it's here we transition back to the school as Anya's telling Becky that I've avoided the Tornerus bolt, so father is at peace now. As she says that my father is a devil. A perfectionist, and definitely Lloyd is. As Becky starts fangirling and says, ooh, a devilish Mr. Lloyd sounds kind of cool, though. But it's here we see Damien trying out to be in another shonen series as he just does his swirling sweep attack to clean the courtyard. And absolutely just gets dust on everyone. I'd be pissed. And little Damien's feeling himself. He's like, yeah, guys, I got a Stella. No big deal. It's a normal day for me. I suit that he got a Stella after the exam. And it's here that Anya notices that there's a student that walks by her that has some very negative thoughts right now, especially aimed towards Damien. And when we see this kid, you can't tell me he doesn't look like a character from Invader Zim, dude. You can't tell me he doesn't look like an Invader Zim character. As Anya points to him and says, who's that? And Becky tells her, oh, George? George Gloom? Get it? Because he's a gloomy looking kid and his last name is Gloommin. Get it? Ha 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 ha. As George starts thinking to himself like, why? Why did he get a Stella Star? My plan failed. I asked the older butler to hire a spy to make his grades worse. As we see that George's family, or George himself, was the one that hired Daybreak from the last episode that changed Damien's grades worse. As George says to himself, like, it's too early to give up, George. If I can just get him expelled. As we see him drop a cigarette butt on the ground and try to blame Damien for it. Literally calling the teacher over like a snitch. And as Damien tries to stop him, this kid literally pulls a professional soccer player and knocks himself onto the ground. Like, what, bro? And as the teacher walks over, he says, I was about to tell you about the cigarette butt I found. But then he suddenly hit me. And the teacher's like, damn, I don't ever interact with these kids. That's gotta be true. Like, Damien, he could be a troublemaker, alright. I gotta stop him. But it's here that Anya comes to his rescue and says, the second son won't do such a thing. Anya saw it all. He stumbled on his own. George is looking at her like, you bitch. Anya puts the scare in the teacher as the teacher says, what's with her eyes that look like she saw it all? If I recall, wasn't she the girl that got a bolt on her first day of school? She's dangerous. I can tell from my 30 years experience as a teacher, this little girl is dangerous. As Anya tells Damien as the teacher leaves that Anya will be in trouble if you get expelled. Really just giving off the worst impressions ever. She's completely just doing this wrong. As Damien gets super embarrassed. Anya's really digging her own hole right here in the I like Damien category, man. She's really digging her own hole, kind of screwing herself over. As Damien's like, wait, what are you saying? That was so uncalled for. Even though you can clearly tell he's so happy, like, oh, she saved me. Oh my god. Even George is like, that's right, why the hell did you get in my way? But Damien's like, wait a minute, you thought I forgot about you, George? He's like, what the hell are you trying to pull, George? What were you doing there, man? As George is like, damn it, it's all over now, my life's done for. And it's here George starts explaining that my family has gone bankrupt. Literally today. Damien's just standing there like, what does that have to do with me, though? As George says, we've been crushed by your family's company. George is like, if I got you expelled, I thought your company would be confused and our bankruptcy unsettled. And I'm just sitting here like, ain't no way they'd give a shit about Damien being expelled. I don't think his dad would care at all. George continues though and says, we can't stop the bankruptcy. If we can't, I'll be homeless soon. When that happens, I'll be saying farewell to this school. I envy you, Damien. You're blessed with good family fortune and also popular. Of course you'd get a Stella. And George starts breaking down here saying, I wanted to celebrate my youth in this school to the fullest. But that will just be a fleeting dream now. Damn it, curse the world. Damien's like, cheer up, will ya? Let me buy you a juice or something. How's that sound? To cover your bankruptcy. George says, I want to drink that juice now. If I don't drink some now, I won't be able to for life. And he calms down a bit after getting his juice, but then he looks at the school and says, come to think of it, I'm reminded of the cafeteria's ultimate caviar bowl. I could never order one in the end, huh? If I don't eat one now and get expelled, it'll leave regret in my heart. And my life will be filled with hardships. And everyone's just looking at him like, is this guy for real right now? Is he being for real? But they still end up getting it for him, and he's just sitting there soup like, extremely exquisite. And then he says, you know, I've been wanting to have a Stella on my chest just once. Would someone please lend me theirs? I know it's unreasonable, but my anger towards the Desmonds is taking over me. As Damien actually does end up lending him his Stella for a second. But then he puts the gloom in his name to work as he says, starting around next month, my family will probably be penniless. And then I'll definitely be sold as a slave to Westalis. Thus, a new life as a slave is waiting for me. Pity me. As Anya pats him on the shoulder and says, don't worry, the West is a safe country. And it's here, overcome with emotion, that Georgie boy starts crying right then and there. And for his final requests, he says, I've been looking forward to the choir competition at the end of the year. I really wanted to be one with you all in a song. Can we start singing, here and now, in the middle of the courtyard, with everyone watching us, judging us? And Becky actually starts singing here. And I love that Anya just looks at her like, Becky, are you for real right now? And Damien literally just starts busting a move right here. I'm like, wow, we're really doing this, huh? He just starts busting a move. As everyone joins hands and starts singing on George's behalf. And I love that Anya's just standing there like, what the hell is going on right now? As George tells them all, thank you for such wonderful memories, guys. And as he's leaving school that day, everyone gives him a parting gift. Even Anya, who gives him a leaf she found on the side of the road. So thoughtful. And as George leaves, he says, I'll turn this pain in my heart into strength. As we see him with tears in his eyes leave the school. And as Anya comes home and tells her family this heart-wrenching tale, Lloyd literally says, wait, but Gloom and Pharmaceutical just got bought out. It's not going bankrupt. As we transition to George's dad, as he says, yeah, our company was facing a financial crisis. The Desmond Group actually saved us from it. George is literally sitting there like, what? Wait a minute, what? And the next day when he goes back to school, it is the most awkward thing ever. It's so awkward. How do you explain that? Becky literally walks past him and says, you better give us back everything that we gave you, motherfucker. As our little segment ends with George being the most hated person in his class. And our next little segment of the episode, I don't remember from the manga. I could just have terrible memory, but I don't remember this little section in the manga. Because if you guys know, the manga has like little side parts at the tail end of the volumes. Like little like short stories, only a couple pages long. I don't remember if this is one of them, but I don't remember this whole segment at all, personally. So this is brand new to me with Yor. But basically, Anya oversleeps and is going to potentially be late for school. And she's worried about that. So they rush her off to school. Lloyd goes off to work, and Yor is home by herself. She actually goes into Anya's room and sees that she forgot something. And this is an emergency situation, because if she forgets something, she could be expelled and join a biker gang. You know, typical thought processes. So Yor has to rush out there and deliver this to her. And guys, forget being an assassin right here. Yor's a damn superhero with the stuff she's doing. She's jumping from building to building, crawling up walls, and I'm like, what the hell is going on here? You could be a damn vigilante. Forget being an assassin. Now, she eventually makes her way to the school, and this is one of the funniest segments in the episode to me. How two kids are talking like, have you heard the mystery of the mysterious spider woman that said to climb the walls of the school? They're like, nah, there's nothing like that out there. That doesn't exist. As we just see Yor on the outside looking in, and bro, she looks kind of terrifying right here. And as she's looking for Anya, she actually ends up at the farm where we meet the animals from our first half of the season. And we see that one cow she messed up, and it literally just bows its head like, I don't want any trouble, ma'am. I swear, we're good. I don't want any trouble. Don't beat my ass again, please. And while this is happening, we see that Lloyd is actually just sitting on the roof. Like, Yor, what's she doing here? Did she realize that I just used work as a cover so I could infiltrate the school and decide to follow me here? And eventually, Yor does find Anya and deliver her clothes to her. But Anya tells her that, yeah, I didn't bring this stuff intentionally. We don't have that class today. So Yor literally did all this for nothing. And it's here she's leaving the school dejected. Lloyd actually runs up to her and says, I did go to work, as she asked, because she asked him, like, why aren't you at work? And he says, I did go, but after that I had to go on a house call for a patient. Because we see that he only even approached her to try to make sure that something serious wasn't going on right here. And now that he knows it isn't, he's all relaxed. He's fine. And upon seeing that she's kind of depressed right now with herself, he says, you know, I was thinking of having lunch before heading back to the hospital. Why don't you have lunch with me? So, and she says, of course. So they actually decide to go have lunch together. And that's how our episode ends. In a nice, melancholy way like that. And what an episode, man. What George, man. I don't know how I would feel in George's position. You make a big deal like that, only to turn around and be like, psych. I can't even imagine how that would feel going back the next day. But yeah, guys, this was a fun episode as usual, and it's been such a hectic couple days for me. I apologize that Mob isn't here, but it's coming tomorrow. I promise you that. But let me know what you thought of this episode down below, because I'm curious. Like, what would you do in George's position? Let me know down below. But until next time, guys, I hope you have a great day, week, month, and year. And until then, deuces, have a blessed day. And I pray your power doesn't go out like mine, because that shit sucked. I'll see you guys next time.